I was shooting for Dear Zindagi and Badrinath Ki Dulhania a little bit simultaneously. So the first schedule of Badrinath Ki Dulhania, I was doing some extra subtle acting. You're very far away from me.
I'm very far away. No,
Yeah.
This is what they said. They said I have to sit here.
This is not how we usually sit together.
Yeah, that's true. Usually we don't. But lots of people running around under fire. This is why they told me to stay away, so they can have a neat frame of just you with absolutely no disturbance. So first of all, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And first things first, belated happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you
just
very
had your
much.
birthday. Everybody wish her a happy birthday. Come on.
Thank you so much.
Did you have fun? What did you do?
I got a cat.
You got a cat. Wow.
His name is Edward.
Okay.
And I ate a lot of cake and a lot of food.
Okay. So tell us more about Edward. Is he fun? We saw him on your Instagram, but...
Oh, he's like a piece of my heart. He is the love of my life. It's almost difficult for me to even leave him at home right now and come here. But because it's a very, very special event, I have to be here. But I really miss Edward, and I want to be with him all the time.
Why Edward? Why the name Edward?
You know, because I'm tired of calling cats like by cute names or
Right.
like animals like boo, coo, choo, loo.
Huh.
I mean, you know, we need
Right.
something royal. So I was like, kuch royal rakhte uska naam.
Nice. So that's why Edward.
Yeah, so Shine and I were like, nay, you know, we want to keep... So Shine wanted to call him Felix.
Right.
And I said, no.
That's a very typical cat name.
Yeah, it's a cat
Yeah.
name. And then we, I think, came to Edward together. And
Oh,
then,
nice. Okay, cool. So I'm going to name my next cat Ramesh. Like just to give it a nice, normal name.
Or Bijoy.
Or Bijoy. Or just
Bijoy.
something like that. Or just like Sunny. Or just give it a name like that. That'll be fun. Yes, you're a very good actor and all of that. But there's a lot of good actors. But the thing I've noticed is that a lot of people, especially young people, they really respond to something about you. It's more than just the acting. There is a word that I find used a lot is fresh. Or freshness. Have you ever sort of sat down and tried to deconstruct that or decode that? Or what does that mean? Because
No, in fact, I get that all the time. So people are constantly telling me कि आलिया आपको fresh लगना है और young लगना है. और I'm like, हाँ मैं young हूँ और मुझे लग रहा है मैं fresh हूँ क्योंकि
Right.
I've showered and I've left the house. I don't understand what fresh means.
Okay.
But I think, honestly, the only thing that I want to be as a person, as an actor, as a celebrity, as a public figure is myself.
Right, okay.
And maybe that is fresh.
I think so. I think because I think you and particularly this sort of generation of actors that you belong to, it's interesting that you say yourself. Because for me, one of the most fun things to watch about people like, you, Varun, Arjun, all of you, is you're very authentic in comparison to, say, like older stars. And I mean that with no offense to the older stars. But
I think the time then was different.
Right, of course.
Because there was no social media, there was no Insta stories, there was no prospect of connecting with a game. And there was no, there was a lot more mystery.
Right.
So I feel right now maybe the new thing is to be yourself and not create a mystery about yourself.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Because it's also harder to be mysterious in like
Very
this
hard.
age of social media,
Like,
right?
hey,
Like,
spotted here, spotted there,
Yeah,
leaving
but-
gym, going to airport.
yeah. You guys actually have something called an airport look. This is something that I found out. Please explain to us what an airport look is.
Means you're spotted, you're going to the airport, you're catching a flight. How do you look? That's your airport look.
Wow.
It's fun, I think. Yeah, it's nice to see different
yeah,
airport
because
looks.
literally the only decision I have to make while going to the airport is I have to choose the most comfortable boxers because it's going to be 9 hours in economy. So I'd better. That's it. That's my airport look. My airport look is an internal thing. It's
No, but it's how you make comfort look fashionable. So next time you arrive in your boxers to the airport look,
Then-
that may become a trend.
But talking to a guy who's built his career on the internet, and our entire point of envy is we just go and we look at your followers sometimes and we're like, it's not fair, yeah. This is not fair. Apna pura life internet pe, lekin like we have 2 million and then whatever followers we have, you add 2 zeros to it and you get Alia's social media followers.
No. I'm honestly I feel very grateful and flattered that I have those many followers.
Okay.
It seems, a bit surreal sometimes.
Right.
But as you rightfully said, I can't sit and respond. It's not like I don't want to. I do try to do a
Fair
chat
enough.
session every now and then. But I feel like anybody who checks into this game will be able to hear my voice, will be able to see the videos. And again, it's not about me. It's about
Right.
you.
Sure.
You know, and it's not like, come, I'll give you a piece of me. It's not also about that. It's just
Right.
like, come have an experience, and whilst you do that, I'll be your friend. You know, we
Nice.
could be friends. And it's not like I'm saying none of you are my friends. I literally have love and affection and pure like gratitude for everybody who says good things or bad things about me. Because
Right.
even
Okay.
bad things sometimes make a difference,
Fair
you know,
enough.
in
Yeah.
a good way.
Sure.
So yeah, I think this is in a sense a way of connecting and just staying in touch and another medium of communication.
Nice. Okay, so before we talk a little bit more about the game, I have one more question for you about movies, which is that I mentioned you did just March to March. You have done 4 huge films that have sort of come and gone. And so there was Kapoor and Sons, Udta Punjab, Dear Zindagi, and then Badri. So when you're working on all these movies simultaneously, how do you keep your head straight? Like how do you not show up one day on the set of Udta Punjab just as Kyra? Like how do you keep it straight?
You know, it is very difficult, and
Okay.
that's where the director comes in place. So fun thing is, I was shooting for Dear Zindagi and Badrinath Ki Dulhania a little bit simultaneously. So the first schedule was Badrinath Ki Dulhania, I was doing some extra subtle acting. And Shashank was like, Alia, what are you doing? So it became like a fun thing where he used to say, Alia, not Dear Zindagi, Fear Zindagi.
Right, okay.
So whenever I was doing a Dear Zindagi kind of acting, he used to come and say, no, Fear Zindagi.
Right, this week need to go to the other space.
We need to go to the other
zone.
space. Yeah, but that's where your director, your co-actors, and everybody comes in, you know, in helping you, because honestly, it is very, very difficult, which is why I like doing one film at a time, but you can't always do one film at a time.
So, Dear Zindagi is something that I actually want to talk about more than any of the other movies last year, because for me, what was really nice about watching Dear Zindagi is it felt like a space that Indian movies don't usually go towards, which is this sort of idea of this person who, if you look at it as a normal Hindi movie, it's not that much conflict. You can look at it and be like, is लड़की के life में problem क्या है? It's just love problems which everybody else has. But I like that it takes that and it turns it into a sort of conversation about mental self-care and mental care, which is something that I don't think we do a lot of in India. And is that something that drew you to the character?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know this, you and I, we have a common person in common who
Yeah.
has suffered through depression
Yeah.
and who is
Yeah.
not afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
My sister. Because that the whole idea of being afraid to talk about there's something wrong with the way you're feeling is the idea that I feel we need to get rid of in the society. Dear Zindagi was maybe a subtle, sort of more lighter way of approaching it without being preachy, because you know whenever we try to be preachy, people run away in the opposite
Yeah,
direction.
of course.
I would do that as well. I don't
Sure.
want to hear like a bhashan from somebody.
Sure.
But if somebody's giving me a sweet kind of a representation or a subtle representation of how people actually feel. They may not need to be a really big problem, but you can be feeling a certain way. And I feel like we should start talking about it like it's a cold. Like, you know,
Sure.
because it's as common as a cold. And I really, really like that about that character and that space and how she just develops this friendship with her therapist. I mean,
Right.
Jahangir Khan is totally fictitious. He does not exist. He's not, you know, I mean, I don't know anybody as
Cool.
as sexy and as
as
cool
yeah.
and living in a great little cottage in Goa. But I mean, a lot of the things that we discussed, I did relate to. And I'm sure many girls out there related to as well.
All right.